Hello, I'm Josh with Jager Pro. Recently, one of our dealers went viral showcasing a capture of over 60 pigs in one of our mine trapping systems. That led to a lot of questions, so let's talk about it. So our first question is from Mitchell Wood. How does this trap work and how do they get so many inside? Well, Mitchell, here's your answer. Our mine trapping system is 35 feet in diameter and has an 8-foot wide gate threshold. Jager Pro offers two types of panels, rigid and flex, which can be used in conjunction with a single or double gate enclosure depending on your needs. The flex panel in most cases is used for long-term or permanent trap sites, whereas the rigid panel is more mobile and faster to set up. For example, you're running multiple bait sites in one trapping system. Each system comes with either a M.I.N.E camera or the new M.I.N.E live stream camera. The M.I.N.E camera works just like any other texting camera on the market today, except that it has a built-in transmitter to drop the M.I.N.E gate from the Jager Pro app. The new M.I.N.E live stream also texts a photo when motion is detected, but now you have the option to go live, watch them in real time, and drop the gate from anywhere in the US. How do they get so many inside? The feeder is placed first in the conditioning process. This will give us our targeted number of pigs within that sounder. Once they are conditioned to the feeder, the trap is then erected around the current feeder site. The next step is to condition them to the same bait site, but this time with the trap in place. Once conditioned to the bait site and all targeted pigs are in the trap, that's when it's on the hog control operator to manually trigger the gate on the Jager Pro app and get to the trap site within 60 minutes to euthanize the sounder and get the trap site cleaned up. The size of the sounder will determine how many are inside the trap when the gate is dropped. Your initial targeted number should be the minimum number of pigs when initiating the drop gate command, meaning whole sounder success. Our next question comes from RT Captain, and he asks, how long were you baiting to get that group together? Well, RT, here's our answer. While we cannot give the exact timeline on this particular capture, we do, however, have a 3-step conditioning process that we follow, and when dealing with any wild animal, it's up to them how much time it takes. The 3-step process goes like this. Step 1, condition pigs to trust the bait site as a daily food source. Step 2, condition pigs to trust the corral enclosure as a daily food source. And the last step, capture the whole sounder at once. Like I said, it can take anywhere from 2 to 3 days or up to 2 weeks time depending on that sounder's behavior. Don't rush the process. The biggest mistake a hog control operator can make is not having the discipline and patience to ensure they capture 100% of their intended target. This will only educate others, making it difficult to trap all the pigs off that specific property. Our next comment comes from David Woodhead, and he wrote, "That trap is too big. I've seen big boars run through mesh that size." Well, David, our panels are a little different, and I'm going to explain them to you. Yes, big boars will run through 6 by 8 inch mesh from a cattle panel, but Jager Pro panels are built specifically for feral pigs. After years of development and finding out that standard horse, sheep, or goat panels are not the answer to the problem, Jager Pro developed and patented the 1860 rigid and flex panels. The flex panels are 16 feet long, while the rigid panel is 8 feet long, with 18 horizontal bars reaching 60 inches in height, with the bottom 6 horizontal bars being 2 inches apart, with the next 4 horizontal bars being 3 inches apart. With that being said, the bottom 36 inches of the panel make it impossible for the youngest piglet to escape. I've made many captures with baby piglets inside the enclosure without any ever escaping. I have never lost any pig due to the panel system failing. Our next comment comes from Justin Bailey. "Looks set up to me, backyard or what? And look at the ground, they've been in there for ages." Well, Justin, I can assure you this video is not a setup. Most areas you encounter for an intended bait site has undisturbed topsoil. It only takes a couple of nights of a sounder to show up and feed for 30 minutes to turn that area into a dirt spot. This could have also been a long-term bait site where they've had multiple captures in the same trap site. It's not an uncommon practice depending on your location and number of pigs in the area. So if it takes 2 weeks to condition a sounder to the bait site, you can bet that area is going to look beat up from its previous condition. Our last question comes from Richard Moreland, and his question is, what type of gun did you use for the final solution? Here at Jager Pro, we recommend using a .22 caliber suppressed rifle shooting subsonic ammunition within an hour of the capture. There's no need to use a high velocity center fire bullet, which can easily pass through a hog skull and damage the gate or trap panels, when a 40 grain .22 long rifle bullet safely performs the task less expensively. Also, a subsonic .22 long rifle bullet shot at 1,080 feet per second through a suppressor is much quieter than a center fire bullet shot at supersonic speeds. This practice prevents distressed vocalizations to any other sounders on the property, which eliminates method education about the mine trapping process. This also prevents pigs from urinating and defecating inside the trap all night and soiling the enclosure for future captures. Blood inside the trap enclosure does not affect new sounders from feeding. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below.